Ayo, welcome to Prairie Views. Happy to have you on here. Thanks for sitting down with me today. To kick things off, can you just tell us a little about your role at Prairie and what a typical day looks like for you?
Um, so I work as a GIS analyst with Prairie, and a typical day looks like me getting up to my system, checking emails first, checking what I might have missed over a couple of hours because sometimes the engineers work till 7 p.m., 6 p.m., depending on the project. So I want to first cover up what I've missed. Then, I start my day by creating a notepad of what I want to achieve for the day, and I get into business.
All right, if you could work on any dream project, what would it be?
I would say a nationwide environmental justice and resilient mapping initiative. It is a GIS-based effort to identify and address inequalities in community vulnerable to flooding, pollution, and climate change. It would merge spatial data, social vulnerability indexes, and structural resilient metrics to help make data-driven decisions and protect both the people and the environment.
How did you first get interested in GIS and geospatial technology? Like, what drew you to the field?
I would say my interest in GIS started way long before I even knew what the term GIS meant. My dad was a land surveyor, so I grew up following him to construction site and field, rivers and thick forests, getting coordinates. I didn't even know what it looks like or what those coordinates would translate into. But over the years, it grew my interest in knowing more about it. I went further to study urban and regional planning, where I first came across GIS in one of the classes I took, and that's where my interest grew and was able to uh, work. And yeah, I am.
Nice. Yeah, my dad was also a land surveyor, actually. What's the most interesting place you've ever worked on or analyzed using GIS?
Um, so place, one of the most interesting projects, I'm going to divide it into two.
Yeah.
One of the most interesting projects would be the Black River in down in Mississippi because I actually went, I was on site to collect some data. We were doing cross section for a for different creeks, and it was hot in the summer, and there were just a whole lot of obstacles and challenges that you have to like fix quick. Some days are very, very um, hectic. Some days are very, very technical. But that was very interesting to be able to be proactive at different occasion and be able to like solve problem when you need to. But in terms of like analyzing data, I would say Lower Illinois River is an ongoing project. I would say I love it because it helps me to use my GIS expertise to relate to ecological and engineering data sets. So it's quite very interesting that Prairie is able to, encompass all the natural resources, and we are also big on um, preserving our natural resources. So
Yeah. What's one industry innovation you wish you could implement immediately?
um, so for me, I would say um, the use of AI in automating GIS work. And I'll break it down into like using machine learning to be able to determine the ecosystem, the floodplain over the years um, is going to save us time of having to generate the floodplain doing floodplain analysis. So when we use AI and we use the machine learning. Over time, the machine is able to learn our floodplain, and we don't have to spend much time doing floodplain analysis.
Yeah, make your job a little smoother and easier for you,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
hmm
that would be nice. What's something valuable you've learned from collaborating with other teams or disciplines?
I would say communication. I would say Prairie is big on communication, and for this reason, collaborating with other teams is very, very essential. So I would say communication has been a big thing that I've learned, and I value the ability to be able to get to the engineers, to the planners, and everyone working on a project.
Yeah, it's also easy, I think, to communicate with everyone here. What is a GIS tool or software you couldn't live without?
Definitely ArcGIS Pro. ArcGIS Pro used for geoprocessing, analyzing, map production, and sometimes I would say ArcGIS Online for visualization and collaborating with non-GIS stakeholders.
Okay, if you could switch roles with anyone at Prairie Engineers for a day, who would it be and why?
I would say it's obvious. I would love to work with them and see and learn more about surveying and how, those information, those data sets that have been gotten on the field um, can also help my decision making or help my analysis as a GIS analyst here. So I would say working with surveyors and learning more about, the engineering part of surveying. Yeah.
Yeah. What advice would you have for someone considering a career at Prairie?
I would say be curious, be collaborative, and open to learning. Paris culture values initiative and teamwork, and it's all about solving real life problems across discipline. So if you have these skills, I feel like you would strive everywhere in Prairie, any department.
Yeah, I agree. What type of professional do you think fits in best at Prairie? Why?
Um, I would say someone who is technically strong and people oriented because you'll be able to connect with engineers, scientists, planners, and while you communicate clearly, you'll be able to be adaptable. Sometimes I help surveyors, sometimes I'm on the boat, sometimes I'm in the office, just being able to adapt to different projects at different points in time. So you have to also be strong technically.
If you had to pitch Prairie Engineers on Shark Tank, how would you sell it
Mhm.
in 30 seconds?
Very engineers on complex environmental and structural challenges into sustainable data-driven solution.
So, rapid fire round, coffee or tea?
Coffee,
Yeah, good choice. Me too. Coffee for sure. Cats, dogs, or both?
dogs,
Yeah. Field day or office day?
office there.
Really? For some reason, I was gonna say you were gonna pick field since you said land surveyors.
So I mean, I think it's the mix of both. Some days I want to be out there. Some days, especially when, like you said, the weather would determine whether it should be office or field day. But like office is just more convenient to
Hmm.
say, but field is more taxing. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Okay. And then last but not least, are you an early bird or a night owl?
early bed. I wake up 5:30 every day.
Even on the
Every
weekends?
day, even weekend. So it's just like my routine.
Any final thoughts you'd like to share about working at Prairie?
Um, I'm grateful to be part of the team that doesn't just make maps. We also impact. Every project feels like a contribution to something bigger than ourselves. I would say I'm really grateful to be part of Prairie Engineers.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. How can people connect with you or learn more about your work in GIS?
I do have a LinkedIn page. It is Ayomide Akinyemi. And on my LinkedIn page, I also have a profile there, which you can also check on my LinkedIn profile, on my LinkedIn page.
Prairie Views, where all the engineers are strong, all the surveyors are good looking, and all the scientists are above average.